This is the movement preparation video. We have several exercises here. You start off forward jog and a backward pedal. You can mark out a distance that suits, about 10-20 yards. Riverside skip, bring the arms over and back and go back the same direction. Depends on the area you have available, you can adapt these exercises. Now we have the skip. The knee comes up on the opposite side of the arm. So we alternate, just like the running pattern. It's a good exercise. You can do a couple of reps on that. Now the skip with the scoop. So we drop down into a lunge after every side on the skip. So alternating the arms and legs, dropping down into a lunge, touching the floor, and get both sides. Next we have the low side shuffle. So just keeping the base a little bit low, shuffling the hands and doing your side step. Again, just trying to stay a little lower than the side skip. Next, the Carioca Run. So you step behind and then step on front while rotating at the hips and at the waist. So you step behind, then step in front while facing the same direction. So you face sideways. Now we have the low Carioca, which is a tricky exercise at first. So it's a really good exercise to get the legs coordinated and warmed up as well. So it's similar, you're getting low like a squat or lunge, but your legs are crossed. So you're stepping down, lowering your knee towards the floor. Try not to let your knee touch the floor, but just very close to the floor. Try to keep good control over the body. Concentrate on the coordination of the movement as well. So just a slow, steady pace for this. Doesn't have to be fast. At first this can be a bit tiring on the legs, but a very good way to get the hips and the knees, ankles warmed up. Next we have the forward lunge. Trying to keep good posture. We step, bringing the knee up and out on front, lowering down. We're not trying to take too long of a step. Don't stretch out too far. You're trying to keep your rear leg with your thigh almost perpendicular to the floor. So again, nice steady pace. Try to bring the knee up high and balance as well, rather than just kind of long steps. See, we kind of pause a little bit at the top to ensure that we're getting good balance and coordination. Now we go with the side lunge or lateral lunge. So we step out, we lower the lead leg and keep the rear leg straight. Both feet are flat on the mat. You're trying to keep a good upright posture and not bend over too much. Trying to keep your weight over your hips. Try not to lean out over the lead leg and put your weight over that bent leg. So you're trying to keep your body in the center of your mass, right over your hips, shoulders over the hips. And go back. Try and stay low as you can. Rotate on that front foot. And remember, just do your best to keep as low as you can. Each person will be slightly different depending on your hip mobility. But as you warm up, try to get a little bit lower. And this exercise is very beneficial. Try to do this every day. Now we have the walking kicks, just kind of dynamic warm up for the hamstrings. So put your hand out about eye level and try to kick up towards your hand. Keep your leg as straight as possible. But if there's a bend in the knee, that's okay. But as straight as you can. Okay, as you warm up, just get more dynamic with the kicks. The next one is the cross leg stretch. So for this stretch, you cross over your legs, keep your toes in line, Next, place your hand on your hips and pull your shoulder blades back together so that you keep a nice tight back. Keep your abs tight and your upper body nice and straight, so your spine is as straight as possible. So when you bend forward, you only bend at the hip. Try not to bend your spine, and that way we'll get a good stretch down the back of the legs. The calf hamstring area is the kind of main target area, so you should feel a nice stretch down there, and not too hard of a stretch, just nice gentle tension, just to warm up in a dynamic fashion. Okay, now we do backward lunge. Here we step back and then we place our feet together and then step back again. Now we can mix this up a little bit too, so that we could step back and then we could step all the way through. So you'll see on the next one here, I step all the way through. I don't place my foot beside my other foot. I step up and all the way behind. So I'm getting a good articulation of the hip all the way through this exercise. It's really tough to do at first, but if you need to just step up at first, that's fine. So to apply this exercise routine, I usually mark out an area of a particular length, 10, 20 meters or 10, 20 yards. And then I'd do the exercises up and down in that distance. You could also do it on like an open area, like if you want to just continue on a track, or if you were going on a football pitch, you could just do it out around the area if you like. Also, you could mark out the area. You could do a jog, like say for example a lunge down, jog back, walking kicks and so on. So you could do a jog back between each exercise to break them up. And then for some exercises you could repeat 2-3 times on the distance, and others you might only do once, like the cross leg stretch for example, or the walking lunge, or the low Carioca, where Carioca runs or high skips, skip and scoop. These could be done a couple of times as you feel necessary. I'll offer full guidelines in the description, so check out there, and I'll have a set routine that you can just go straight to doing rather than having to organise it yourself. But feel free to change it as you need to. Thank you.